Hello and welcome to Stretford Paddock. My name is Joe and we are here with some breaking news. As you can see there, Mason Greenwood, obviously the topic here, report coming from the Greater Manchester Police. Essentially all charges have been dropped against Mason Greenwood. I'll just go straight into the statement that was released by GMP just a few minutes ago. They say that criminal proceedings against a 21-year-old man in connection with an investigation opened in January 2022 have today been discontinued by the CPS. Chief Superintendent Michaela Kerr, GMP's head of public protection, said, "Given the significant media coverage of this case, it's only fair that we share the news that the 21-year-old man who had been arrested and charged in connection with an investigation opened in January 2022 no longer faces criminal proceedings in relation to this. The investigation team has remained in regular contact with the legal team, providing any update of note, and so understand the rationale for the discontinuation of proceedings at this stage, and that this is a decision that has not been taken lightly. Despite the media and public interest in this case, we have decided not to comment on it in any further detail. I would, however, like to use this opportunity to reiterate GMP's commitment to investigating allegations of violence against women and girls and supporting those affected, regardless of their circumstances, throughout what can be hard and upsetting time for them. An ever-increasing number of officers are receiving specialist training, and the force is more consistently utilising tools available via the criminal justice system to keep people safe and care for victims." And that is the end of the statement there from GMP. So, yeah, get your thoughts in the comments below. It's obviously a massive decision now for Manchester United. They, as of this moment, haven't released any sort of statement. I know in the past that they had, and they talked about being suspended from the club for an indefinite period while this was ongoing. Obviously now this has come to an end. Something has changed, whether that be, I think there's a multitude of reasons why the investigation and the criminal proceedings have stopped. Again, we don't know the details on exactly why that has happened, but it's interesting. Obviously, he had his court date sort of pending in November this year, so it was a procedure that had got to that stage, obviously deemed very serious, and obviously there's those audio tapes that I'm sure most of us have heard and were widely circulated on social media. That was the main catalyst for what seemed to be the main catalyst for this investigation. Manchester United now have a massive decision on their hands. They have to make a decision legally. He's innocent, there's been no trial, so I don't think Manchester United can sort of sack him for any reason, because he's like I said, an innocent man according to the law. So that decision has to be made now by Manchester United. What they do they bring him back into the team? Do they do they sell him? Do they who knows? It's going to be an interesting one. Obviously, very sensitive situation for so many reasons. The public nature of the audio file that was leaked and some of the pictures that were leaked make this investigation, I'm sure, massively difficult for the police in the first place. Then obviously the fact that he is a person of the profile that he is adds another element of difficulty and detail for everyone involved. So it's an interesting finale, seemingly the finale to this story so far in terms of the criminal side of it. Is that there is the exact wording is criminal proceedings have today been discontinued. So that is the update. Interesting. It's one of those ones where I don't really want this to become a debate or this, that, and the other. It's a horrible situation for everyone involved, and Manchester United now have got a massive decision to make in a season that has been so good on the pitch so far. Now there's this huge decision for Ten Hag and Richard Arnold, and I'm sure the Glazers will be involved in it as well with the severity of it. Exactly what happens going forward will be up to them, and we will be here every step of the way giving you those updates and looking at exactly how this affects Manchester United and how Mason Greenwood is or isn't reintroduced back to the Manchester United squad. So very monumental really, to say this was looking like it was going to court as of a couple of days ago now. No further action will be taken against Mason Greenwood. That is the news today. Obviously, another part of this is the social media reaction and everyone's reaction to this news. And it's an interesting one. It seems to have divided people. A lot of people, despite the fact that he is now legally an innocent man, still don't want to see him play for Manchester United. And I would put myself firmly in that camp. I don't think that you can't unhear what we heard on those audio tapes, and obviously it's not something we've discussed on the channel whilst this case has been ongoing, because that is the the recommended thing to do with any ongoing lawsuit or criminal case. But for me, you can talk about not being convicted of something, but that doesn't make you innocent. And like I said, we've heard what we've heard now. And if that was my mate or someone I worked with, I wouldn't be happy being their mate anymore. I wouldn't be happy working with them. If it was someone who worked at Stretford Paddock, they wouldn't be working at Stretford Paddock much longer if that audio came out from them. And I would hold the same standards, if not higher standards, for someone who's in the position of financial and social privilege that Mason Greenwood is in due to his job at Manchester United. He's not someone that I could go and stand at Old Trafford or sit at home or sit with my mate or my girlfriend or my dad and say, I want to see that person playing for Manchester United anymore. But obviously that's my personal opinion, and I know people have a different opinion to me. But again, I can't unhear what I've heard. And I think a lot of people on social media, it seems to be pretty split actually, but a lot of people have a similar thoughts to me on it, and get your thoughts in the comments. Obviously, it's such a serious matter. It's something of such severity that you kind of almost have to have an opinion on it. You can't. Well, who knows. This is huge, and obviously it's a massive thing for Manchester United. But again, like I said, if you're looking for my personal opinion, I would prefer that he never play for Manchester United again, because it's just, you can't do the thing that we know he's done. And again, legally it won't be proven in court, and there won't be any criminal follow up from that. But you can't unhear and you can't undo the things that have almost certainly been done, assuming that audio tape was anything other than legitimate. So there you go. Right, thank you very much. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Obviously, just a massive situation, isn't it? It's one that I've never really seen before. There's been bits, certain things that have been of a similar nature to this, but never with the public element that we saw with this one, with the things that were put on social media. So yeah, massive situation for Manchester United. Massive situation for Mason Greenwood, who is now free of any charges and presumably will be looking to restart his footballing career. Will that happen at Manchester United? We'll find out presumably in the coming days, with a quote from Manchester United at some point. He's still under contract at United. He's still a player of Manchester United. I believe he's still got 2 or 3 years left on his contract, so it's not going to be a situation that's easy for United one way or the other. Right, that's going to be all from me today. Get your thoughts in the comments, and of course respect the opinions of other people. This is a massive, controversial, hugely significant moment for Manchester United, so it's going to be one where people will disagree with you, and that's, unfortunately, that's the world. So thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you in a bit.